Okay, so today we're going to finish this build off. It's been a long time coming. This is probably almost six months this has taken me. I don't know. Anyway, so today we're going to do chain covers, handlebars, grass deflector, badges, handlebar levers, handlebar grips. So I've already taken the liberty of putting stickers on. Take your time when you do that. Take your time, make sure you get them in the right spot. I think the little things at the end probably make the mower. So just take your time with the small parts. While it's nice and easy, I think if you take your time you get a better result. So I'm going to start with the handlebars. I will start with the Handlebar Badge. So I've purchased this from SB Fabrication and Parts. George does an excellent job with his parts. In fact, what you see here on the bench here, so grass deflector nuts, they come from George. Handlebar grips, these are reproduction but identical to the original handlebar grips. Excellent. Stickers, I got them from George as well. As you can see, they come up a treat. Grass deflector rubbers, so also George. So I quite enjoy George's parts and I will continue to support him. So here we go, we'll start with the Handlebar Badge. I'm sure there's 1,001 different types of glue that you can use to glue this on. I simply just put a dab of silicone on the back and push it on there. I quite like that because the silicone doesn't dry straight away, and it allows you to rotate the badge so you can get it straight. So we'll do that first. Okay, so wiggle that around, make sure you get good coverage. Trick is not to apply too much silicone, so if you apply too much it starts oozing out the sides. If that does happen, I would suggest that you let the silicone dry first and then just get a Stanley knife and chop that off. If you wipe it off while it's still wet, you're just going to smear it all over there and then it's a total nightmare to get off. So that's a handy trick. As you can see, that looks the part, so we'll move on. We'll mount that up on the handlebars now. So I also do this on all my builds. Now this is just something I do personally. I find that the handlebar badge, if you bolt it on there, it sort of vibrates as you mow. I can't stand anything worse than mowing along listening to that vibrate. So I actually put a bit of rubber on the handlebars here and here, and I actually put a little bit across at the top as well, and then bolt that on there. Now I actually use garden hose. It's just cheap and what I've got lying around, so I sort of cut it so it will slip on to my handlebars. Like so. So that will go across there and the bolt will go through the middle. But I cut it sort of in a fashion that you don't really notice it on the back side. So when I get this on here, I'll show you the back side and you won't actually really notice that there's actually even any rubber there. However, it does keep the vibration down. So I'll do that now. Okay, so we've got that bolted on there now. As you can see, looks nice. On the back side here, you can hardly even see those bits of hose that I've got there. So once it's actually on the handlebars and it's sort of sitting like this, no one's ever going to see it, and you're just not going to hear the handlebars bumping around. So up to you if you do that or not. That's just what I do personally. So move it along. Actually, continuing on those handlebars, we'll mount the lever. So I won't put the cable onto the mower just yet. I'll just mount it up onto the handlebars, and then that'll be the last thing I do, as I said earlier. So Okay, so there you have it. Okay, so while I've got the mower facing this way, I will install my ID badge. So I've done a video on how to restore these. This one wasn't in the greatest condition to begin with, and it hasn't come up as good as I would have liked it. However, I'm going to roll with it. So that's just 2 pop rivets up here, nice and simple. Okay, so also while the mower's facing this direction, I'm going to mount the lower part of the handlebars. So that's going to be 2 nuts and bolts on one side, and because this is a solid, you have to mount your chain guard or chain cover bracket as well. So that will actually sit through there like so. So don't forget that one. Just have to check which hole to put that in, so it's the lower hole. Okay, so now we've got the mower turned around, I think I will install our chain, not our chain, our grass deflector. So that'll slot into here. Because of that modified bracket that comes with your grooming reel, it can be a little bit tricky, though hopefully we don't have any problems with that. So here we go. Okay, so I've encountered a problem with the little clips on the bottom of the grass deflector. So they are actually hitting my rear roller. So what I'm going to do there is I'm just going to bend this little tab up a little bit. That will clear the rear roller and it will actually make it sit better on top of the modified sole plate, where the sole plate used to go. So I'll do that now. Okay, so that's sitting in there much better now. So when that goes in there, you want the bottom part of this deflector, you want that to sit in the front side of that modified bracing bar. So just when you do that, just make sure it's sitting on the front side, and then you actually see that these clips do slip over quite nicely. I did have to bend them, and I have actually scratched some paint off there. So maybe if you do need to do that, wrap some fabric or something around there before you pinch it with your pliers. It's just something I'm going to have to live with. Fortunately, you're not going to be able to see it, so here we go. Okay, so next I will install our chain cover. So before you do that, make sure you grease, lube up all your chains. Now I've done that off camera. While I'm on that matter, make sure that you grease and lube all your bearings as you put them in. So I don't actually film it when I do it, but I definitely do it. So self-aligning bearing has to be packed, and so does your thrust bearing. So make sure you grease them before you install them. And I'll put the catcher rubbers on. They just push on, there's nothing to that. I'll put the red little mount in the hole. Wow, that was difficult. Alright, so put that on there, so just 2 screws. Also, make sure you tighten all your nuts. So before you put that on, obviously you're going to cover them all up. So I've gone through, I've checked all my nuts are tight, lubricated my chains, and now I'm going to install a cover. So just one thing to remember, that's all. Okay guys, one other thing I also do, now this is also personal preference, chain covers, they also like to vibrate as well. Now you can get the rubber seal that goes around the chain cover, and I'm sure that would probably actually prevent the vibration as well. I don't actually do that, I sort of keep it original. I actually put an O-ring underneath these screws, and that sort of just absorbs some of the vibration. So okay, we're nearly there, so going to install the handlebars now, so that's going to be up here, half of it won't be on camera. It's simply just a bolt through here, and then a locking bolt that goes through the lower part here, and then that sort of holds it all in place. I will show you how to install the control cable. That goes onto here. Now that will sort of pull on this. Probably should have done that before I put the chain cover on, just so I can show you the clutch cork going in and out, sort of where you need to set it. So it's sort of personal preference, you can set it up so you squeeze the lever fully before you move. I like to sort of have it sort of touching just a little bit, so you don't have much movement on the lever, and the mower will actually go forward. So it's a personal preference thing. I also will install the handlebar grips. Now there's many different ways of doing this, so you can push them on. If you push them on, you're going to find they're just going to pull off as soon as you use the mower. I like to use the hairspray trick. So I run inside, get my partner's hairspray, spray some on the handlebar. It actually acts as a lubricant to push it on, but as the hairspray dries, it becomes sort of like a tacky sort of texture, and it will actually hold the handlebar grip on. So that's how I do it. I would advise not to glue them on. If you ever need to take them off and they're glued on, you basically can't without cutting them off. Chances are, if you're taking them off, you're probably replacing them with new ones anyway, so it may not be an issue. But I like the hairspray trick. Just spray some on there, push it on, let it dry. Alright guys, so I powered ahead here and actually didn't film how to install the drive cable. So I'm going to try and attempt to explain how I did that to you now. So basically, when setting that up, how far you screw this bolt into the bracket is determined by how long your actual cable is. So when I say cable, I'm not saying the black sheath. So inside the black sheath, you'll see that there's actually a wire cable, right? So that wire cable stretches over time. As it stretches, you're actually meant to wind this bolt out. This is an original cable, so it is probably stretched a bit more than a new one. However, this bolt here is screwed into this bracket. So see how it stops there? So that's determined by the length of that steel cable inside the black sheath. Now, I've got that connected up with the handlebars like so. So this pin here is the other end of that cable, and as you pull that, it pulls the cable through the black sheath, operating this bracket here. So this bracket goes through down inside there. So that goes through down there, and into the gear chains there. So that's what applies pressure to your intermediate gear chain, or intermediate clutch rather. And in turn, the clutch cork here will grab, and then the rear roller will engage. So basically, this is how I've set mine up. I need to pull my lever this much in order for that bracket to be pressure applied, which is then pulling the cork together. As they touch, the corks will grab and the rear roller will engage, go forwards. So hopefully that explains how far or how to set this screw. It's a bit difficult. So how this bracket goes back to that position is all based on this spring here. So that spring will push that bracket back, and as that pushes that bracket back, it disengages the pressure applied where the cork is in your intermediate clutch, and then your rear roller will no longer have forward drive. Alright, so I know that was a horrible explanation. It's sort of a difficult thing to explain and hold the camera and move around at the same time, but hopefully that made sense to some of you. So basically the mower is now complete. So as you can see, everything's in there. So I've gone around and I've tightened I've checked all my nuts and bolts to make sure that they're tight. I've oiled all the oiling points. So these little holes up here, there's 3 of them. They've all had a couple of drops of oil. Being a brand new mower and there's no oil in there already, apply that liberally. I still have no oil in my motor. I'm just about to do that now. Once I put oil in there, I'll get this off the bench and we'll go out to the yard and kick her over for a maiden run. We'll see how she goes. So one thing before I do that, I am actually going to lower my grooming reel a bit lower. So I can do that with the height adjuster. However, I try to aim to use my mower, or I'm going to try and aim to use my roller at this height, or maybe a bit lower. But in order for this to touch the ground, I'm going to have to lower the reel. So that's not a big thing. I'll do this with the brackets. Once I've got that lowered and leveled again, I have to level that again. So now that I can't turn the mower upside down, it's a bit more difficult. However, I do know that the front and rear roller are leveled together, so I'm just going to put them up on blocks and then I should be able to level the reel. So I'll see you out in the yard very shortly. Righto, so it's late in the day. I've just done a quick mow. I'm out in the backyard here, so backyard, it's looking a bit brown. That's actually from dull blade, so I need to get my cylinder sharpened. I've just done a soapy water test over here, seeing if I've got any lawn grubs. Funny enough, I've got them out the front, but I don't have them out the I've got them out the front, but I don't have them out the back. So I applied a Celeprint out the back, but not out the front. So that just goes to show it works. Anyway, let's fire this baby up and we'll see how we get on. So my grass is probably a bit long for a groomer. I've been mowing it long on purpose coming into cooler weather, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, so there you have it. As you can see, that's worked a treat. That's pulled up pretty much just brown stuff, no green stuff at all, which is excellent. That's how Groomer should be. So that's the end of these series, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm probably going to take a break from the series. I will still be uploading videos, however they'll probably be more sort of maybe lawn related sort of stuff I'm doing around the yard, opposed to building Scott Bonnar mower. So still going to build the mowers. I'm just going to take a little break from the videoing, I suppose. It takes a lot longer to build a mower when you video it, so might just smash out a couple of projects I've got, and then I'll come back and we might, don't know what we'll do next. Might do maybe like a budget series or something like that. Let me know if you'd be interested in something like that. So please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.